Bayern PSG is probably the best game I have ever witnessed on the quality of two teams, and especially the individual quality that the players deliver. Never seen something like this. But when I look at the amount of minutes and the freshness of those players, then I'm not surprised. To deliver those moments of quality, you have to be very fresh, and the difference in the leagues and the way they compete in is night and day, and you just have to see a lot of stats that they've been recently around it. So we are comparing two different worlds, so you cannot compare one part of that without giving any context to that. I don't think it's fair.
The Premier League title race is reaching a boiling point, and Arsenal are refusing to let their dreams slip away. After an emphatic 3-0 victory over Fulham in matchweek 35 of the 2025-26 Premier League season, Mikel Arteta's side sent a massive statement to the entire league and especially to Manchester City. The win pushed the Gunners 6 points clear at the top of the table, although Pep Guardiola's side still has 2 games in hand. Even with that detail hanging over the title race, the atmosphere surrounding Arsenal right now is filled with confidence, belief, and the growing feeling that this could finally be the season when the North London club returns to the top of English football. The Emirates Stadium was electric from the first whistle to the last, and after the final whistle, the emotion among players, fans, and coaching staff was impossible to ignore. Arsenal know the battle is not over yet, but they also know they have placed enormous pressure on Manchester City. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to the channel and leave your like for more breaking football news, Premier League updates, and exclusive analysis every single day.
They're always going to be chasing their tail, and it takes its toll in the end, knowing that you've just got to win this game to not do anything really, just to stay on the tails. And that's hard. It is very difficult. And these are good teams. Everton are for me, I think they're an underrated team. Brentford have been kept busy because of the big winning against West Ham today. Palace, I don't see a threat with Palace. Bournemouth, very difficult game, and probably the easiest game of the whole lot, in my opinion, is Aston Villa.
Because
they're already be in the top 5, in my opinion. That's cemented, and they could be in the Europa. They could have played in the Europa League final on the Wednesday before that. So for me, that looks like that could be an easier game.
Mikel Arteta could barely hide his pride after the match as he praised the mentality and determination of his squad. The Spanish manager made it clear that this victory was not only about securing 3 points against Fulham. For him, the performance represented a powerful message to the dressing room, to the fans, and to Manchester City that Arsenal are still fully alive in the race for the Premier League title. Arteta explained that what his players have achieved this season is extraordinary, especially considering the injuries, pressure, and difficult moments they have faced throughout the campaign. According to him, this Arsenal squad has shown incredible mental strength by continuing to fight at the highest level despite constant obstacles. He reminded reporters that Arsenal have already achieved the highest number of victories in the club's history during a single season, a statistic that highlights just how far the team has progressed under his leadership. However, Arteta immediately warned that there is still work to do because 3 massive league matches remain before the dream can become reality. The Arsenal manager also appeared to direct a warning straight toward Manchester City and Pep Guardiola. Arteta insisted that his team will continue pushing until the very last second of the season and made it clear that Arsenal are not afraid of the pressure that comes with leading the title race. His words reflected the confidence currently flowing through the squad. After several seasons of rebuilding, near misses, and painful disappointments, Arsenal now look mentally stronger and far more mature. The players no longer appear intimidated by the weight of expectation. Instead, they are embracing it. One of the biggest talking points from the victory over Fulham was the sensational return of Bukayo Saka. The English superstar made his first start since March 22nd after recovering from injury, and his impact was immediate. From the opening minutes, Saka looked sharp, energetic, and dangerous every time he touched the ball. His movement created chaos in Fulham's defense, and his confidence seemed to inspire the entire team around him. Arsenal supporters inside the Emirates Stadium erupted every time he accelerated down the wing, and it quickly became obvious how much the team had missed him during his absence. Saka's return could not have come at a better time for Arsenal because the final weeks of the season will demand brilliance from their biggest stars. Alongside Saka, summer signing Viktor Gyökeres produced what many fans are already calling his best performance since arriving at Arsenal. The striker was relentless throughout the match, constantly pressing defenders, creating space, and threatening the Fulham backline with his physicality and movement. His overall display gave Arsenal a completely different attacking dimension. For weeks, critics questioned whether Arsenal had enough firepower to survive the pressure of the title race and Champions League football at the same time. Against Fulham, however, the attack looked ruthless, fluid, and confident again. Arsenal did not simply win the game. They dominated it completely. The first half was particularly devastating from Arsenal. Arteta later described it as one of the best opening 45 minutes his team has produced all season. The intensity, passing speed, pressing, and attacking movement overwhelmed Fulham from the beginning. Arsenal attacked with aggression and confidence, refusing to give their opponents any opportunity to settle into the game. By half-time, the match already felt decided. That dominance also allowed Arteta to make important substitutions later in the game in order to protect key players ahead of the massive Champions League semi-final clash against Atletico Madrid. Saka was substituted at half-time, while Gyökeres and Declan Rice were also taken off early to preserve energy for the crucial European showdown. This response from Arsenal becomes even more impressive when considering the difficult period they experienced recently. Only weeks ago, many football analysts and supporters believed Arsenal's season was beginning to collapse.
I am extremely grateful for the support, the atmosphere that we have created at the Emirates. We always want more, we always want better, we always want every single action to be so positive behind the players. The more we do that, we all know that the outcome is going to be much better, and I'm sure. I know tomorrow is going to be such a special game when it's so much to play for and so little still, so we know everybody has to be at it.
Their heartbreaking defeat against Manchester City in the League Cup final was followed by a shocking FA Cup elimination at the hands of Southampton, a team from the second division. Those defeats ended Arsenal's hopes of winning a historic quadruple and created serious doubts about the squad's mentality. At the same time, consecutive defeats in the Premier League allowed Manchester City to regain momentum in the title race. Arsenal even lost their place at the top of the table for the first time since October after City defeated Burnley. Suddenly, questions began to appear everywhere. Could Arsenal really handle the pressure of becoming champions? Did the squad have enough experience? Were they mentally strong enough to survive a title battle against Pep Guardiola's relentless machine? Critics pointed to Arsenal's recent inconsistency and suggested that the team might once again collapse under pressure just like in previous seasons. Some even claimed that Arteta's project had reached its limit. But instead of collapsing, Arsenal responded with resilience and character. Victories over Newcastle and Fulham have completely changed the atmosphere around the club again. The players look focused, united, and determined to finish the season strongly. Arteta repeatedly praised the mentality inside the dressing room, saying he believes the squad is moving in the right direction both mentally and emotionally. According to him, the energy among the players after the Fulham victory was exactly what a title contender should feel during the final weeks of a championship race. Another major factor working in Arsenal's favour is the fixture schedule. While Manchester City still face difficult opponents such as Everton, Brentford, Bournemouth, and Aston Villa, Arsenal's remaining league fixtures appear significantly more manageable. This could become one of the defining elements of the title race. At this stage of the season, consistency matters more than spectacular performances. Arsenal understand that every match is now a final. The victory against Fulham showed that they are capable of controlling games professionally while still playing aggressive attacking football. Goal difference may also become crucial before the season ends, and Arsenal strengthened their position significantly with the 3-0 victory. Every goal scored and every clean sheet could eventually determine who lifts the Premier League trophy. Arsenal players clearly understood the importance of continuing to attack even after taking control of the game against Fulham. Despite Arsenal's advantage, however, Manchester City remain an enormous threat. Pep Guardiola's side has built a terrifying reputation over the years for producing unstoppable winning streaks during the final months of the season. In fact, many rival supporters fear Manchester City most when they are chasing rather than leading. The experience inside Guardiola's squad is extraordinary. Players like Rodri, Bernardo Silva, and Erling Haaland know exactly how to manage pressure situations because they have already won multiple Premier League titles together. That experience is perhaps the biggest difference between the two clubs right now. Arsenal are trying to win their first league title in more than 20 years, while Manchester City have become serial champions under Guardiola. Arsenal are learning how to survive these moments. Manchester City have already mastered them. The psychological side of the battle may ultimately decide everything. Arsenal currently carry the burden of protecting their lead at the top of the table. Every dropped point could be disastrous. Meanwhile, Manchester City are once again in the role of hunters, a position that often brings out their most dangerous football. Guardiola's teams rarely panic under pressure. Instead, they usually become even more precise and ruthless. Still, Arsenal fans have genuine reasons to believe this time could be different. The squad appears more mature than in previous seasons. Players are showing greater emotional control during difficult moments, and the team no longer seems dependent on individual brilliance alone. There is a stronger collective mentality throughout the squad. Leaders such as Declan Rice have added composure and authority to the midfield, while experienced players continue helping the younger stars stay focused. At the same time, Arsenal cannot focus only on the Premier League because another enormous challenge awaits them in Europe. The second leg of the Champions League semi-final against Atletico Madrid is approaching rapidly after the first match ended in a dramatic 1-1 draw. Arteta described the upcoming game as one of the biggest nights in the history of the Emirates Stadium and urged supporters to create an unforgettable atmosphere. The Arsenal manager wants his players to carry the energy, confidence, and momentum from the Fulham victory directly into that decisive European battle. Winning both the Premier League and the Champions League would transform this Arsenal team into legends forever remembered by supporters around the world. The possibility remains alive, and that reality is creating enormous excitement around the club. Arsenal are now potentially only 4 or 5 matches away from completing one of the greatest seasons in their modern history. Statistical predictions currently place Arsenal as favourites for the title, giving them a 79% chance of becoming champions compared to Manchester City's 21%. But football history has repeatedly shown that statistics alone cannot decide championships. Manchester City remain capable of producing miracles during title races, and Guardiola's side will continue fighting until the final whistle of the season. What makes this battle so fascinating is the contrast between the two teams. Arsenal represent hunger, youthful energy, and the dream of returning to glory after years of frustration. Manchester City represent experience, dominance, and the cold mentality of serial winners. One side is trying to complete its rise. The other is trying to defend its dynasty. As the season enters its final dramatic chapter, every pass, every mistake, every goal, and every decision will carry enormous weight. Arsenal currently hold the advantage in points, confidence, momentum, and fixtures. But Manchester City possess something impossible to measure on a league table: the mentality of champions who refuse to surrender. The race is still alive. The pressure is becoming unbearable. The dream is within reach for Arsenal, but one mistake could change everything instantly. In the end, the Premier League title may not be decided by talent alone. It may come down to courage, mentality, and which team can remain ice cold when the pressure reaches its absolute maximum.